Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Valparaiso High School for tonight's sectional football game featuring the visiting Munster Mustangs and your Valparaiso Vikings. Tonight's football game is being conducted according to the rules of the Indiana High School Athletic Association. These rules provide for fair competition among participants. Spectators can help promote good sportsmanship also by observing the rules of fair play. Everyone is requested to take personal responsibility for keeping this game at a high level of good sportsmanship. Men's and women's restrooms are located at the south end of the building, around from the concession stand on the south side of the field and on the east side of the field under the bleachers. Valparaiso Community Schools are a smoke-free and tobacco-free environment. We thank you for your courtesy by refraining from smoking and your cooperation in making this a smoke-free environment. There will be no pass-outs allowed during athletic events. Please be advised that the throwing of any projectile items will be cause for immediate removal from the event. We welcome tonight's officials for tonight's game: Todd Baum, Albert DeRue, Chuck Henry, Aaron Kosick, and Andrew Nowak. You can get all the scores of the week and the season for the sports teams at Valparaiso High School by typing www.valpo.k12.in.us. Check out Valparaiso High athletic schedules and results by connecting to the Valpo webpage at www.valpo.k12.in.us. Fans, please remember that the handicapped seating area is designated for our handicapped patrons. Please do not stand against the railing or within the handicapped area. Get up to the minute information from state championship events by following the IHSAA on Twitter at IHSAA1. That's at IHSAA1. On behalf of the Indianapolis Colts, good luck to all teams in their quest for an IHSAA state championship. The Indianapolis Colts are proud to be the presenting sponsor of the IHSAA football state tournament. You're good at being you. You've been you for years. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance is good at your insurance. Find an agent to help you think about it at infb.com. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood. Welcome to Valparaiso High School and Viking Field. In the spirit of sportsmanship, we ask that all fans act responsibly and courteously to those around you. Abusive language or disorderly conduct is unacceptable and not welcome at IHSAA events. Let's afford the student athletes, coaches, officials, and your fellow fans the respect they deserve. Your cooperation is appreciated. Please enjoy the game. IHSAA has a few special rules that must be followed during the playoffs. Banners and posters are not allowed. Battery-powered or electronic noisemakers, fireworks, recorded music, permissible during quarter breaks, halftime, and postgame, but sirens and whistles are not allowed. Throwing of articles, including toilet tissue and baby powder, is not allowed, and no live animal mascots are permitted at any time. Thank you. Gentlemen, here are the starters for the next game. First for the visitors from Munster. Starting on the offense, tackle number 75, McKeever. Guard number 55, Zach Del Negro. The center is number 51, Anthony Wallace. Guard number 77, Ronan Meyer. Tackle number 75, Austin Talbot. The quarterback is number 12, Nick Eng. Running back, number 44, Mike Dywin. Slot receiver, number 18, Noah Poole. Also a slot receiver, number 8, Noah Hensley. Wide receiver, number 4, Vince Forster. Wide receiver, number 11, Cole Lisinski. The punter is number 17, Alex Merrick. He also handles the kicks. The defensive starters for Munster: defensive tackle, number 50, Evan Zuckley. Nose tackle, number 77, Ronan Meyer. Defensive tackle, number 45, Brendan Buttichlich. Outside linebacker, number 18, Noah Poole. Inside linebackers are number 52, Blake Surik, number 44, Mike Dywin, and number 53, Alec Ayersman. Outside linebacker, number 12, Nick Eng. The safety is number 8, Noah Hensley. One corner, number 22, Joey Burns. The other corner, number 4, Vince Forster. For your Vikings, first of all, the defensive starters: number 11, left end, Cooper Jones. Number 65, the left tackle is Jacob Ruska. The right tackle, number 24, Isaiah Tidwell. The right end, number 7, Dylan Dingman. The Viking linebackers: number 5, Sam Carpenter. The Sam linebacker, number 2, Mason Maple. The Mike linebacker, number 33, Peyton Krutz. The Will linebacker, number 10, Noah Teller. Strong corner, number 48, Josh Fedorchak. The free safety is number 19, Blake Lemon. The Will corner is number 28, Jack Cale, and the punter is number 2, Mason Maple. On the offensive side for the Vikings, number 15, Luke Patterson, is one wide receiver. A second wide receiver, number 9, Blake Worthington. The tight end, number 35, Wesley Sharp. At tailback, number 27, Tommy Burby. Halfback, number 13, Antonio Osorio. The quarterback, number 12, C.J. Opperman. Left tackle, number 79, Ben Scott. The left guard, number 50, Tommy Stallma. The center, number 51, Matthew Olson. Right guard, number 58, Creighton Schenk. Right tackle, number 54, John Hofer. Kicking off and handling the field goals, number 97, Liam Shepard.
They're coming in ready. You better come in hungry. Everything that you have done to this point, all the practices, all the time, all the commitment, all the off season, you are ready for Friday night. You are ready. They're coming in ready. You better come in hungry. Everything that you have done to this point, all the practices, all the time, all the commitment, all the off season, you are ready for Friday night. You are ready.
And fires and it's intercepted.
You can go as far as you want to go as individuals. We can only go as far as we can go as a team.
He runs it to the left side, and he is in for a touchdown. Valparaiso gets the early strike.
He's going deep.
Jesse
wide
Harper,
open.
wide open.
C.J. Opperman threw that ball perfectly.
Sometimes our talent may not match the talent of the guy that we're across from. But our passion and our perseverance will not be matched.
He's at the 10, he's at the 5, and it's a Viking touchdown.
That's what Friday night is for.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise? Gentlemen, remove your hats and face the flag in the north end zone as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem by the VHS band.
Hello and welcome. This is a PCTV Sports. I'm Tristan Stewart and I'm with my instructor, Mr. Bob Phelps. Today is November 1st, 2019. Today the ValpoVikings will be taking on the Munster Mustangs in the first round of 5A Sectionals. What do you think of this game, Mr. Phelps?
Tristan, it's good to be with you tonight. It's good to be with you, actually. I'm excited for tonight's game. It'll be round one of the 5A Sectional. Obviously, it's a big night for both teams. We've got a unique circumstance here with a undefeated team playing a winless team. And obviously, that'll be the talking point of the night as these two teams battle each other. I am very excited to join you in the booth tonight, Tristan. In all the years I've been helping to produce these broadcasts for all the Viking fans around Indiana, around the world. This is the first time I've been able to be on the mic and join you. So I get to try out what many of my students have done over the years and done very well. So it's fun to be a part of the broadcast in a new role.
It's nice to have you here doing this with me. Actually, an honor. So we have a few players to talk about. For Valpo, we have the defensive lineman Dylan Dingman.
Alex Merrick will kick off for Munster.
So, he has been a key player for the Vikings going into sectionals with an undefeated regular season. He is one of the region's top junior defensive linemen. Dingman is 6'6", 250 pounds. He spends most of his time in the weight room when he's not practicing or playing. He can squat 475 pounds and bench press 270. He is a freak in the weight room, Valparaiso coach Marshall said to the Chicago Tribune. Dingman arrived at Valparaiso as a running back and inside linebacker. In his sophomore year, the coaches asked him to switch to defensive end. Since then, he hasn't looked back and has been a major key to the defensive, and that's why he is this week's PCTV player to watch. And on Munster's side, we have the wide receiver, Noah Pohl. Munster hasn't had the best season this year, going 0-9 in the regular season, heading into the first round of the sectionals. With this week's PCTV Munster player to watch is Noah. He is a junior wide receiver from the Mustangs and he has assisted a lot this year.
All right, Tristan, looks like we're underway. That is not good right off the bat. First possession, Valpo comes up with a botched snap, which ended up being a fumble. Obviously, Valpo recovered that, but in a game where you expect Valpo to dominate, right off the bat, we've got a mistake on offense, which obviously is something that they're not going to want to keep up the rest of the night.
Yeah, that's something that they can't be having that happen repeatedly, because that could have went really bad if Munster would have gotten hold of the ball. We have the snapback pass. Caught by number 13.
Yep, Antonio Azario with a great reception. Totally came back from that botched snap. Obviously, that's the type of play they want to see. Take a look at the replay here. Beautiful pass. Osario's open, turned around, made that catch just like he was supposed to. Moving down the field. Obviously, they're now on Munster's side of the field.
Vineyard off right tackle. Tackle was made by Ronan Meyer.
There's a Valpo run for not very much. Actually have some fireworks going off just over to the south side of the football field. I believe that's a neighborhood. It's nothing the high school is doing here, but could be a potential distraction for some of the players.
No yards gained on that last play. Snap back and given to 27, Tommy Burby, just refusing to go down there.
It's a good second effort by Tommy Burby on that run.
Blake Zurich made the stop for Munster. 3rd and 1 for the Vikings.
9-yard gain. Burby carries through.
Tommy Burby up the middle for a Viking first down.
And goes down at about
Blake Zurich makes the stop.
It's about the 12-yard line?
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a lot of this tonight from Valpo. Occasionally a good open pass, but for the most part, they're going to be ground and pound, as they say. That'll help move the clock. That'll help them get downfield. I'm anticipating Munster's defense not going to be able to compete against Valpo's run game, and that seems to be the case.
Yeah, they're having a real hard time as,
again, Burby.
Tommy Burby goes.
Tommy Burby up the middle.
I believe he's
just short.
Yeah,
he's just short, Tristan. He may have had a nice run. You guys might get a chance for replay here. They are, at the 1-yard line?
And that's a touchdown for Valpo. Tommy Burby goes right through the Munster's defense. So now the special unit is going to come out.
What was that? Four in a row. They had 4 runs in a row for Tommy. Obviously, a big part of the offense right off the bat.
We have Liam Shepard trying to get the extra point, And it is good.
William Shepard's kick is good. Valparaiso 7, Munster 0.
So, with just the first few minutes of the game, Valpo's already up 7-0 on Munster. Tristan, I think there's going to be a theme tonight.
It is. How do you think Munster's going to go about playing? Do you think they're going to do a lot more passing or running?
Well, we had a chance to talk to the head coach for Munster before the game, Jason Grunwald, and he did share some thoughts about some of the issues they've been having this year, especially with turning the ball over, some silly penalties, turning the ball over through interceptions, sloppy ball handling, leading to some fumbles. I'm curious on what they're going to end up doing. Valpo's got a solid defense, so passing against them may end up being tough. I could see some interceptions coming up tonight if the defense is on their toes. But we will see. It'll be Munster's chance to get the ball here in just a second. Got Liam Shepard kicking off for Valpo.
Great kick. The Valpo defense does not give Munster a chance.
A couple yards there. That was number 18, Noah Poole, the returner for Munster. So as we were saying before the game, this is a 9-0 Valpo Viking team versus an 0-9 Munster Mustangs. Both 5A, but certainly teams that maybe wouldn't be seen as equal playing field here. But the draw is the draw, and that's something we talked to Coach Grunwald about before the game. You got to play the draw, and it's a blind draw, and it is what it is.
Mike Guyman carried the ball for Munster up the middle. Peyton Krutz made the tackle for Valpo.
There you go. Got Peyton Krutz on the tackle there. And the crowd goes wild. It's good to have Peyton back. We're talking to Coach Marshall before the game. Peyton actually has been out since week 2 of the Viking season. So it's good to have him back here for the postseason, feeling much better. I know he's a hard player, doesn't like to sit out like he had been for most of the season.
Ooh, very short pass, but could not be completed by Munster.
Pass was intended for Mike Guyman, incomplete. 3rd and 10 for Munster.
And with passes like that, it's hard to imagine if they'd be able to get those very long ones that they throw.
You know, he was pretty open. Quarterback Nick Eng for Munster just kind of threw it off the mark a little bit. But if he had caught that in stride like he was, I could see him picking up a handful of yards at least to keep the drive alive. And he's going to run for it, eventually making that pass. Holy cow, look at that.
Complete.
Nice work for Munster. Cole Lisinski on that reception there, Tristan. Threw it right over the Viking defender there. And you can see the replay here. Actually, yeah, really was almost an underthrown ball, and he had to come back for it. Lisinski kind of waited for it and fell right in his lap. So nice reception there, and obviously moving down the field nice for the Mustangs.
Snap back and a pass. Ooh, but it's intercepted.
There we go.
By number 2, Mason Maple. And there is a flag on the play.
Intercepted by Mason Maple. There's a flag on the field.
See what this penalty is. Whether the
I believe it was for holding. Personal.
No, we got a personal foul against Valparaiso. Yep, they're going to call that after the interception. There was a personal foul. It will end up standing as an interception, so Valpo will have the ball. Let's see, I'm going to back that up a little bit. So it will be a reception, or excuse me, it will be an interception. Then they lose 15 yards from the interception, and they are at the 22-yard line. So Valpo's got the ball, which is unfortunate. Munster was making a nice run there, had a beautiful pass to Lisinski.
And they're making up for it right now. And yeah, he's going all the way. Antonio Osorio going all the way for a touchdown.
There you go. And that's just what Valpo was hoping to do. Score quick, off of a turnover. That's a great call.
They were not letting the penalty set them back at all. Liam Shepard going for the extra point. And it's good.
Liam's been very solid this year on his kicking game. When you've got a team as good as Valpo, he's going to be out there kicking lots of extra points. They really haven't had too many field goals this year, but he's been very solid with his extra point kicking, which as Valpo hopefully gets deeper into the postseason, every point matters, that's for sure.
And this was exactly the situation Munster was talking about with how they get there's a lot of interceptions happening on them, and Valpo took full advantage.
Yeah, Coach Grunwald was saying before the game, he has his concerns about the turnovers, and there you have it. There's a turnover that led to a quick and impressive score for Valpo by way of Antonio Osorio.
Deep for Munster will be against Forster and Noah Poole.
We'll try to give you guys some updates, the fans at home, some updates on scores from around Indiana. Currently, Warsaw and Chesterton are tied 14-14 in the second quarter. Got Lake Central beating Crown Point 7-0.
Great kick there by Liam Shepard.
Oof.
Noah Poole returned the kick from Munster.
But Valpo's defense not letting him get too far.
It was a good return with a big hit there at the end on Noah Poole. All right, let's see what Munster can do on their second drive of the game.
Yeah, maybe they'll be a little bit more fortunate this time. I think they just need to run the ball. It gives less of a chance of turnovers.
Notice that Nick Eng, the quarterback for Munster's lineup in shotgun so far on every down. There you go, big reception. So Lisinski again with the a first down on a reception. Looked pretty good.
It'll be a good night if they keep that up without any interceptions.
Oh, there we go. Got a flag. Got all kinds of movement on the line there.
False start against Munster.
Yeah, I was going to say I saw more on Munster's side than Valpo.
And that's the stuff that's going to drive you nuts as a coach. You finally have a great reception, get a first down against a tough Valpo defense, and then a penalty like that.
Ooh, pushing Nick Eng back.
Nick Eng's pass complete to Mike Dywin. Noah Beller made the tackle for Valpo.
It's actually a nice play. He was, a lot of pressure on Ing there, and he had a good screen and was able to get the pass off back to the original line of scrimmage. So now we've got 2nd and 10.
Fumbled by Munster. Or incomplete.
Incomplete. Got his hands on it, but incomplete.
3rd and 10 for the Mustangs.
Again, Ing is pretty far back in the shotgun formation. He's got that pass, dropping back, scrambling a little bit. A lot of pressure and a sack from Valpo.
That puts Munster 4th and 10. So they're going to go for a punt here, I'd assume.
Jacob Hruska on the sack with some help from his fellow lineman. We got 4th and 20.
4th and 20.
Alex Merrick on the punt.
Was it 10?
Munster. Deep for Valparaiso, Antonio Osorio and Jack Cahill.
So this will be the first punt for Munster. Their first possession ended on an interception, which obviously Valpo was able to turn into 7 points. Sort of that rugby-style kick there from the punter.
Jack Cahill,
Cahill had to actually catch that ball and fall back a little bit, Tristan. Almost like he underestimated how far that ball might go.
the 1st and 10 for the Vikings.
Looked unhappy. Ended up on his butt and slammed that ball down. Not too pleased with how the play went. I think he was anticipating having the opportunity for a big return.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good kick, and it was more high than it was far.
Well, higher kick means your players can get down the field and hopefully defend the return, and that's actually what they ended up being able to do.
Tommy
Burby runs through the middle.
Bitter cold night here tonight, Tristan. We've got a decent amount of Valpo fans showed up. We appreciate everyone tuning in at home. Not able to make it. Very few Munster fans across the field from us. We're up in the press box, staying nice and warm.
Tommy Burby runs through the middle again, taking it back to 1st down.
Mike Daiwan made the stop.
A rough count, maybe 20 or 25 Munster Mustang fans across in the bleachers for the visiting Mustangs. The Valpo fans have started to show up. Really nice student section supporting their Vikings. And
Tommy Burby running through.
Holy cow.
And it looks like he is going for a touchdown. Valparaiso touchdown.
So this
From
time
Hayden Vineyard. This was not Tommy Burby this time.
Liam Shepard on to attempt the extra point out of the hold of Luke Patterson.
And like you said, Liam Shepard's going to be out here kicking a lot of extra points tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good. That brings it 21 Valpo, 0 to Munster. 4 minutes and 34 seconds left in the 1st quarter.
Obviously, Valpo off to a big lead. Every possession, they've scored a touchdown. This may end up being the trend for most of the night. We'll see how tonight goes. We did have a chance to catch up with the head coach for Munster, as we were saying earlier before the game, Jason Grunwald. He expressed the fact that it's a transition a bit. It's his 2nd year of coaching, and players have a good attitude. He loves those guys, he said, and tough to keep the morale up, going 0-9. Easy to keep the morale up for Valpo going 9-0. But speaking of which, Coach Marshall said to us before the game, Tristan, they're staying humble. They're treating it like business, and trying not to get overly excited about the next game. It's one of the interesting things about high school football in Indiana. You can actually lose every game of the regular season and still win state because of the blind draw and everyone getting a chance to play in the playoffs. So I'm not sure that'll be the case for Munster this year, but certainly kind of it's a whole new season once sectionals start.
Great kick by Liam Shepard. But the receiver does not make it far. It looks about Munster's 15-yard line.
Yeah, Poole caught that kickoff and made his way upfield, and Valpo's special teams just closed on him. It was almost like, he's got some room, and then nope, no he doesn't. It got closed in real quick because Valpo's just a fast team. It's just very fast. They close in. Coach Marshall has encouraged his guys to play hard every play, regardless of the score, regardless of the opponent, and that seems to be what they're doing at this point.
Yeah, you never want to underestimate your opponent because as soon as you do that, they could always come back. Failed pass.
Yeah, it was overthrown pass there, Tristan, and it does stop the clock and set up 2nd and 10 for Munster. Pinned back pretty deep at about the 16-yard line, 17-yard line.
Ooh. Nick Eng fumbles, but grabs the ball back.
It's pretty smart of him to jump on that ball right away. I'm sure he's tempted to pick it up and try to do something, but he actually did the right thing there, falling on that ball. Got 4 receivers out for Munster. 1 running back in the backfield.
Valpo gets a sack.
Yeah, Ing started running up with that ball, made him a runner at that point, so Valpo obviously said, "You're not getting very far, man," and made that closed in on him and made that tackle, and it brings up 4th and 18.
Yeah, he still got pushed back a little bit even though he ran forward with it. So they're going to go for another. Munster's going to go for a punt here. Maybe they'll have a better job grabbing it. I think there's a flag on the play. No, something fell.
So Osorio on that return, good return, and gosh, they're already starting with great field position, Valpo is.
At the Munster 35.
Yeah, I mean, being in the Munster 35-yard line is not what Munster wants. They'd rather have them back in Viking territory.
Yeah, at least give them a little bit of time, but Valpo's going to come out firing again. I got a hunch we're going to be sticking with the game plan.
Far pass to number 15.
Oh, you know what? Drop that ball.
Luke Patterson, it looked like he had it for a second there. Very good pass, though.
You know, it was, and it wasn't in the fact that Patterson had to actually wait for that ball. He got to wait, and as soon as he grabbed it, obviously I think he should have made that catch. But throws you off a little bit when the pass is underthrown. Really could have aired it out there a little bit further for Patterson. With the way Valpo's dominating, I don't think that's even going to affect their game. It just happened to be an incomplete pass.
Ooh, Tommy Burby shakes off one of Munster's, but gets taken down directly after by number 44, Michael Dwan.
There you see the replay here. We got a couple extra yards after contact, which is good. Got 3 and 5.
Opperman passes it to Tommy Burby, and he runs right through the middle, and then gets stopped by number 12, Nick Eng.
Nick Eng made the stop for Munster.
But that gives Valpo 1st and 10.
1st and 10, Valpo at the 16-yard line.
Nick Eng on the tackle, huh? Interesting.
Yeah, that's I was
Sounds
thinking,
familiar, huh? So we got Nick Eng playing quarterback and in for the defense. Is that correct?
Yes, and he's on the special team as well. Tommy going right through the middle like he always does.
Left tackle.
1st and goal.
Andrew Forrest made the tackle for Munster. 1st and goal for the Vikings.
No, but that's really weird having your quarterback playing on the defense, because if he gets hurt, that doesn't put you in too good of a position, because then you have to put in your JV.
Ooh, got a handoff. Nice tackle there. Kind of a touchdown saving tackle.
Mike Dywin made the stop.
Yeah, Mike Dywin on the touchdown saving tackle there. It does bring up 2nd and 3. So at the 3-yard line. So 2nd and goal.
I assume Tommy Burby's going to run right up to the middle here. And that looks like a touchdown for Valpo. That brings it to 27-0. We have a replay here.
That was Vineyard on the touchdown, I believe. Shepard again, out for an extra point.
And it's good.
Shepard's kick is good. Valparaiso 20, Munster 0.
You can hear the fight song for the 4th time tonight being played for the ValpoViking home fans. It is a song I've got a hunch we're going to hear more often as the evening goes on. Currently 28-0. Valpo beating very easily the Munster Mustangs tonight. It's still the 1st quarter, so lots of football left to play, and lots of fight songs left to play as well. So we'll see how Munster can respond. We did notice that Nick Eng is the quarterback, also out there. So on offense for Munster, also a linebacker playing on defense, and plays on special teams as the holder. That's not common, but yet it's necessary for a team that only brings about 35 or 40 players with them.
Yeah, but that makes your quarterback real tired too, and you don't want that. I mean, that might be why their biggest problem is all the interceptions.
Well, Coach Grunwald was telling us before the game that Ing's a leader on the team. He's a senior, and one positive of that outcome as we've got the kickoff here for Valpo. A little trickeration there. Didn't work at all, but got some interesting play there.
Looks like they're at the 14-yard line for Munster.
Jack Taylor made the stop, 1st and 10, Mustangs.
So Noah Poole actually handed it off there on the kickoff. Noah Poole handed it off after he caught it to Vince Forster. Unfortunately for them, Valpo was not fooled on that. So you've got a senior like Nick Eng, who's quarterback. He's on defense. He's on special teams. He brings leadership to all 3 of those parts of the game. So that's got to be something positive for the team.
Pass is caught by number 8, Noah Hensley.
Noah Hensley.
but is immediately tackled.
No gain, 2nd and 10.
And there is no gain. Noah Eng hands it to number 14.
Mike Dywin carried the ball for Munster. Cooper Jones made the tackle for Valpo.
Is now 3 and 6 for Munster. And that is the end of the first quarter. 28-0. Vikings are up.
Well, Tristan, we're a quarter of the way through this game. Valpo's up 28-0. We did have a chance to talk with Coach Marshall before the game. I asked him if it's tough to play a game like this. Is it tough to have the players be focused on a team that they know hasn't won a game? They can assume or even know that they are bigger, stronger, faster. But he said the team has maintained their composure, professionalism. They understand that it's just another team coming in, and they need to pay attention to the fundamentals they've gone over all season and what's worked for them.
And I think that's a really good way to go into the game, because you don't want to go in thinking, oh, we're going to win, because then if Munster comes in with an attitude of we're going to win, then, Munster has a better chance because they think they can beat you when you're just, you're overconfident in yourself.
Yeah, I think, Valpo has been confident, but not so much that it's caused or affected their game too much. But it's tough when you're up 28-0 at the start of the second quarter. Looking around the region here at some of the scores, we'll update you on those. Got a quick pass from Ing. Couple yards there. Just a couple yards. I think we've got about 5-yard gain there. Fortunately, it's 4th and 5 for Munster.
Still looks like they're going to punt, though.
Yeah, at this point, pin back that deep, you've got to punt. Not a chance to get any points off this drive. Merrick punting.
Ooh, very low punt.
Very low kick.
Gets taken down at the 49-yard line on.
Yeah, it was Jack Cahill.
Munster side.
Jack Cahill fielded it. I think he thought about letting it roll, but with the kind of rugby-style kick there, potentially could have rolled another 10, 15 or more yards.
So update around the region. It's all pretty even for the most part. We got Warsaw and Chesterton tied 21. Crown Point and Lake Central both tied 7. And we have Maryville and Lafayette Jefferson. Maryville's up 7-6.
Opperman back to pass. Long pass. Oh my goodness.
To number 31, Ricky Hall Jr.
Really nice looking pass there. Again, Ricky Hall turned around at the right moment, made that reception, was able to get a good amount of yards after that catch as well.
Tommy Burby runs through for a touchdown for Vikings.
That was quick, Tristan. That was just a handful of seconds. 2 quick plays. 2 quick plays, 34-0 with Shepard coming out for that extra point.
And all that in 1 minute and 4 seconds into the quarter. Liam Shepard going for the extra point. And it's good.
Up and good. I tell you what, not easy to kick that many, to kick 5 extra points like that. Really solid kicking.
Plus he's kicking for kickoffs too, so that's even more.
So obviously this brings up the question of running the clock. At a certain point in IHSAA football, when a team is up 35 points, the referees can choose to run the clock. The caveat to that is it must be halftime. So even though Valpo is up 35-0 against Munster, if they maintain that 35-point lead or more, once it gets to halftime, that's when they will run the clock, which will speed up the game, maybe stop some of the bleeding for Munster. But that's not something that we'll have to handle until halftime.
And I believe Coach Marshall said he was going to be putting in his JV if they were up a certain amount. So, you know, if Valpo gets another touchdown or two, we're going to be having the JV team in. Shepard kicks.
Really a booming kick there
Yes.
from Shepard. Holy cow.
William Shepard sails in the end zone. Then it's a touchback, 1st and 10, Munster at the 20-yard line.
Just sailed right over the heads of the return men, Poole and Forster for Munster. He's got a leg.
Yeah, and he's kicked a lot tonight, but he's still putting in everything.
The team seems pretty loose. When we were down there on the field, they were excited. They were having fun. It is cold. I mean, it's cold here in Valpo, but it's football weather, and they're used to it, and they know it. They were here last night when it was snowy and gross, but they were out here practicing. So if they can handle last night's, then they can handle a little bit of chilly temperatures here in Valpo.
Valpo's defense stops an attempt to run through the middle. Nothing gained, so 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 for the Mustangs.
What's the hold up here? We've got the referee coming over to the Valpo sideline to talk to Coach Marshall, it appears. Not sure what it is. We actually have the head referee talking to Coach Marshall on the sideline for Valpo.
I believe he went to Munster's side too.
Yeah, something tells me they are looking at the clock. I wonder what's going to happen here. I can't quite
Looks
tell.
Like
and
he's
I
going back to Munster's side.
Yep, heading back over to Munster. See if we talk to their head coach. See if we can get word on what a conversation now is taking place over on the Munster side. It sounds like kind of getting eavesdropping on the headset. There may be an issue with the coaches' headsets and the power to the press box for the coaches up top and the breakers. Hearing something about some communication issues for the coaches, potentially for Munster. Looks like play is going to resume, though, Tristan.
He's running, and it is past but incomplete.
Really, there wasn't actually a receiver anywhere nearby.
No, I think he was just trying to get rid of it.
Just threw it away.
There wasn't a sack. That was Nick Eng. He was just way too pressured there by Valpo's defense. That brings it to 3rd and 10. Munster's just not having too much luck this run here. Valpo's defense is just too strong for them. Ooh, and they did not make it in time, and there's a flag. Time ran out.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's a delay game. Yep, delay game for Munster there. So what was 3rd and 10 is now 3rd and 15.
And you know, Munster just keeps getting these penalties that are very easy to avoid.
Yeah, and that's what Coach Grunwald was talking about before the game.
Ooh, pass meant for number 4, Vince Foster, but is intercepted by Valpo.
The pass was intended for Vince Foster, intercepted by Josh Fedorchak.
And you know, that was Vince tried to, you know, he just ran a little too far on it.
Josh Fedorchak with the interception. I was just commenting on Coach Grunwald telling us they want to avoid those penalties and those turnovers. And there it was right back to back. A penalty followed by a turnover, giving great field position to Valpo.
Matt Thompson carries off right tackle. Brendan Budesilich made the tackle for Munster.
So that's 1st and 10, or 2nd and 4, sorry.
Even when they're not getting a first down, Valpo's getting some great runs and making it a nice, short, easy first down to achieve, just like they did there. Does get pushed back.
You know, Valpo's guys just don't want to go down. You know, it takes 2 or 3 Munster defenders to even stop them. And, you know, they can't be having that because that's just, you need to be able to take down Valpo with one guy. So we are at 1st down. When he runs up the side, gains about 6 yards.
Noah Poole made the stop for Munster. 2nd and 6 for the Vikings.
So 2nd and 6 for Valpo.
Pass. Ooh. Pass intended for Antonio Osorio.
See the replay, almost like Osorio was anticipating being hit there. A little bit behind him, so he had to turn his body a little bit awkward to make that catch. Wasn't able to, and took quite a hit there.
Brings it to 3rd and 6.
Osorio in motion. Handoff right up the middle.
To
Tommy Burby. And he's going to bring it to 1st down.
Yep, now we got 1st and goal. 1st and goal for Valpo. See the run right up the middle.
And that's Tommy Burby's thing. He likes to go straight up the middle, and you know, usually he doesn't get stopped. And that's a touchdown for Valpo.
There you go, Jack Cahill.
Right up the middle for a Viking touchdown. Liam Shepard will be on for the extra point.
There's that another touchdown for Valparaiso. Shepard's going to try to make it a 42-point lead for Valpo over Munster.
And with how good his kick's been, he's going to hit it. And it's good.
There you go. 42 to nothing.
Kick is good. Valparaiso 42, Munster 0.
Really rough night for Munster out here, but I mean it was kind of to be expected with the record they've had this season.
This is unfortunately what we were expecting from Munster. They've been shut out multiple times this season. They've allowed teams to put up big points. They've actually allowed almost 400 points this season prior to this game, so obviously now they're well over that. They've up to now allowed 396 points total, as opposed to only scoring 36 points this whole season. They were shut out by Chesterton. They were shut out by East Chicago Central. Also shut out by Hobart. In fact, Hobart put up 65 points against Munster. Kankakee Valley beat the Mustangs 42-0. They had some glimmers of hope with putting some points on the board. They put points up against Lake Central.
And Lowell.
And they put up points against Lake Central, Lowell. Their highest scoring game this year was against Lowell, scoring 13. They've been in the end zone, but just not enough.
I mean, if you look and compare, again, for the Mustangs taking on Chesterton and Valpo taking on Chesterton, it's unbelievable. Gonna go.
They're gonna call that. They're gonna call that a touchback. He actually made the.
Kind of walked in there.
Actually made the reception at about the 2-yard line, or caught that kickoff, and kind of scooted back in. But I suppose at this point it's not worth nitpicking over that sort of thing. Yeah, Valpo didn't have any trouble with Chesterton. Valpo beat Chesterton 40-6, whereas Chesterton beat the Mustangs 40-0. So
that just kind of shows how the Mustang season has been.
Yeah, it's two lopsided seasons, but they've got to show up on Friday night here at Viking Field and play regardless of how their season's been. Really nice screen there for Munster. It led to a first down and then some.
And gets to about the 42-yard line. I think that's one of the best runs they've had tonight.
Absolutely. That screen pass allowed them to pick up about 17 yards. And that's actually the second, maybe third time they've thrown that screen pass. And it's worked both times. Actually, excuse me, one of the first plays of the game was an incomplete screen pass. But if that's what they've got to do, it's maybe something they stick with.
Pass. And it is
with a pass, intercepted.
And he is touchdown for Valpo, number 2, Mason Maple. Wow. We were just saying how Munster had that good screen pass, but then, get an interception, and that takes us up to 48.
And there's your replay of it. Maple read that very well. In the right position, he was able to shake off a tackler, make his way into the end zone. Regardless of the team you're playing, those defensive players love to have a pick six like that. That's something that they go out there every play, hoping that they have that chance to do that. So I'm sure he is thrilled.
Liam Shepard gets another field goal. That takes it 49-0 with 7 minutes, 26 seconds left in the second quarter.
7 touchdowns. 7 touchdowns, 7 times hearing the Valpo fight song, and 7 times the Valpo coaching staff has seen something that they liked at least. The only tricky thing about a game this lopsided is your next opponent isn't going to be Munster. It's going to be a team that's going to be, of course, we're going to keep an eye on the other bracket. It's LaPorte playing at Michigan City tonight. We'll keep you updated on that score. you want to be out here practicing, and you want to be out here making sure that you're getting prepared. And so it's a little bit of a double edge because you want to be able to not lose focus. You don't want to have so much fun. I hate to call it that with some of the success you're having against a team like Munster and be unprepared. So coaching staff under Bill Marshall has done a good job every game getting those players ready.
Liam Shepard with the kickoff. Looks like it's going to go back into the end zone once again.
Yeah, she's solid.
Liam Shepard's kick sails into the end zone. It's touchback, 1st and 10, Munster.
I think that's his 3rd touchback tonight.
Chesterton and Warsaw are still tied up, 21-21. We were taking a look at LaPorte right now. It looks like LaPorte is in the 2nd quarter, beating Michigan City 7-0.
And you have Portage and Penn tied in the 3rd quarter, which is really surprising with Portage's record this year.
You know, Portage has not had a great season, and Penn has always been a terrific team, a team that even Valpo has struggled with many times for as long as I can remember, and I've been watching Valpo football for over 15 years. However, Penn has not had the year they normally do, so this could be a year where they might get beat at home in the sectionals. So 6-6 Portage and Penn.
Valpo gets a touchdown. Munster didn't even have a chance and gets pushed back, 1-yard loss, so it is 2nd and 11.
Obviously, that LaPorte Michigan City game is a big one to keep an eye on. That will determine the opponent for the winner of this game, likely Valpo. It'll determine the opponent and also the location for the game. Ings just getting swallowed up there.
Yeah. Big sack there by Valpo.
With sharp on that sack. Really all over him. Unfortunately, Ing couldn't even think about getting a pass off. Got swallowed up there.
Let's see if Munster can do something here, or if Valpo's defense is just going to keep shutting them down.
It's 3rd and 16 for Munster. Again, more pressure, and then he gets thrown down.
He was going for a pass, but he hesitated it, and there's no time to hesitate in a moment like that.
Valpo's secondary wasn't going to. I mean, they were not going to let him get a pass off. If he does, he risks another interception, and that's not something he's obviously willing to do.
So they're going to go for the punt here.
So Cahill and Osorio back for the Vikings, standing at Munster's 45-yard line. So assuming it doesn't go over their heads, they'll actually start with terrific field position.
Very low. Hits about the 31-yard line and rolls to the 42. So they could have moved up a lot more for that one, but
1st and 10 for the Vikings.
Well, Tristan, kind of knew it would be this sort of game. We had a hunch Valpo put up a lot of points. Munster's not known for scoring. Really, it seems like every possession that Munster has, it really is just a question of not
how long until Valpo gets it.
Yeah, really not when will Valpo get it, but what way. Is it going to be a fumble or an interception or a punt? And then how quickly they'll score. And you see right here, pushing even more. And Tomzak.
Good run there.
Gosh, he picked up 15 yards or so, obviously, for a first down. So now it's 1st and 10 at the 25.
And like you were saying, we knew it was going to be a game like this, but I thought that Munster's defense would put up a little bit more of issues for Valpo. But with a score like this, obviously, it's not too hard for Valpo.
Yeah, Valpo's just too deep, too strong, too fast. Handoff there for Valpo.
That looked like a really rough hit. But he gets right up. Got a replay here.
Grenade Siddiqui made the tackle for Munster.
(49-0) with 4 minutes and 23 seconds left in the second quarter.
Thomas Vo, a sophomore for Valpo, getting a really nice run. You can see on the replay there.
Yeah, about 3 yards. First and 2.
At this point, Tristan, we're flipping deep into our depth chart, and I think it's going to continue the rest of the game. The Valpo coaches starting to put in some of the players whose names we don't hear quite so much, but obviously work just as hard during practice and are going to love to be out there during a postseason game like this one against Munster.
Yeah, that gives them a lot of. And that is a touchdown by number 29, Tommy Vo.
There you go.
I bet he's feeling really good right now going out in a sectional game and getting a touchdown.
Absolutely.
And having the entire crowd cheer for him.
Move over Tommy Burby. It's Tommy Vo's turn.
Yes.
He's a sophomore for Valpo, able to get in and get 6 more points, make it 7 from Shepard.
Yep.
William Shepard's kick is good. Valparaiso 56, Munster 0.
That is 8 touchdowns, 4 every quarter so far.
8 touchdowns total. Yeah, we're in the second quarter now, and still just under 4 minutes left. A chance to put some more points. So I guess now that we've passed 50 points, makes you wonder, can we reach the century mark tonight? I hate to jinx us or even bring it up at this point, but not impossible. Valpo does just keep scoring. I truthfully don't think the coaches will intend to do that, but these players work hard and have since. It's a cold night tonight, but they've been working hard since the heat of the summer, and it's hard to tell them to take the foot off the gas. And I don't really think the coaches want them to do that. Coach Marshall told us before the game, the minute you start playing a little less hard or taking your foot off the gas, as he put it, that's when injuries can start happening. That's when mistakes can happen. So you do need to just get out there and play. And the Munster coach Grunwald, he told us also he recognizes Valpo's a good team, and he expects them to play hard, and no one expects them to take it easy on Munster.
And something we had mentioned earlier is that both coaches actually played together at one point.
Yeah, they were both teammates at
VU.
At VU here in Valparaiso.
And that looks like going to be a touchback.
Another touchback for Valpo.
Now I have a question for you, Mr. Phelps.
Uh-oh.
Do you know what the highest score Valpo has gotten, ever?
Gosh, you go back in the history books?
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
Okay, as long as you've been broadcasting these games, what have you?
I haven't seen a lot of really high-scoring games. I've been a part of them for now almost 15 years. I know we've had some 50-point games. I can't think of any that have been much more than that. Following the DIC like I have, DIC has had some terrific defenses. I've seen some amazing games. One of the best was a Valpo win over Penn, and that was a real low score. I don't know that either team scored over 10 points, but it was an exciting game that went down to the wire, I believe, for a sectional victory.
Valpo's defense just not letting the Mustangs through. So we're thinking tonight's going to be one of the highest scoring games you've seen.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely it will be. And that's great for those fans and those players and those for the Valpo fans.
Yeah, but you really have to think on Munster side of it too. That they're not having a good time out there.
I think Coach Grunwald understands this is a rebuilding year a little bit, and he said that they've had some players. There's a nice screen pass again.
Pass to number 11, but he did not get too many yards there. That was number 11, Cole Lesinski.
Yeah, Cole Lesinski on the and they've thrown to him quite a bit. they don't have too many options out there, and so they're going to keep stick to their game and see what can happen.
3rd and 8 with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left.
Ings for a pass. Again, a screen pass. There you go. Got a first down for Munster.
See, but the last time this happened, directly after Valpo gained control of the ball. So
I believe it was a pick 6 right after or at least interception. Yeah, the screen pass is working. They're going to stick with it. I'm a little shocked that the Valpo coaches haven't warned them and said, hey, keep an eye out for this, and made some adjustments. But they're giving up a handful of yards each play, and it's not a big deal. Ing with the keeper.
Nick Ing on the quarterback keeper.
Kept the ball and slid to avoid the contact. Again, maybe that goes back to what a leader he is on the field. Doesn't want to risk getting hurt. He needs to be out there playing on both sides of the ball.
That brings it to 2nd and 7. Complete pass to number 4, Vince Foster, but then directly tackled. Munster's having a good run right now. Hopefully, maybe they can keep it up.
Jackson made the last tackle.
Yeah, Nick Forster on that kind of a slant pass, or at least off to the side a little bit of a screen, and gained some yards, not quite enough for a first down. Ing back to pass again. Running with it this time. And he gets the first down.
Wow, best run we've seen from Munster all game.
I almost felt like Ing was going to hold up and slide, and I think he realized if he keeps pushing, he can get a first down. So Munsters have made a first down, really just 7 yards from crossing over into Valpo territory.
They only have 50 seconds to do it, though, but they will have the ball.
Ooh, tipped pass, tip drill, intercepted. Yep. Nolan Johnson with the interception there. That's the tip drill. You see the replay. Tipped way up in the air. Actually leaves the frame of our shot there and back down. Nolan Johnson, the sophomore for Valparaiso, or sophomore, as John Knopf might say.
44 seconds left in the second quarter. Do you think Valpo will be able to get another touchdown here?
Gosh, with 44 seconds left, I'm not sure what Valpo might do. I got a strong hunch they're going to take a knee, but and just send it to halftime. And that appears to be what they're going to do.
I think they could have done it, but
that's just not Coach Marshall's style. Let's let that clock run out. Head to the locker room. They're actually going to have to take a knee one more time. There were about 43 seconds left on the clock, and so they're going to take a knee here again shortly.
So far, Valpo's averaged 4 touchdowns a quarter. And they could keep that up going into the second half of this game. But, maybe something will happen in the locker room that Munster will come back out.
It's not looking great for Munster at this point, obviously, and they anticipated that. We anticipated that. The fans appear to have anticipated that. It's why you still have to play the game. You get a draw like this, and it's a tough situation for the Munster Mustangs to come out and have to play a really, really strong, motivated team like the Valparaiso Vikings, a team we've been lucky enough to see play well all season.
Yeah, and they're making the best of it. They're not coming out there with a bad attitude towards it.
No, they're playing hard. I don't really see a lack of fight in the Mustangs. They're sticking to their game plan and they're playing, but it is what it is.
Yeah. That ends the first half of the game tonight, leaving us at the end of the first half with the score of 56 Valpo to 0 Munster. And
we're going to have a halftime performance from the Valparaiso Vikings, the dance team. We're going to let you enjoy that, followed by a halftime performance from the Valparaiso Band, and we'll be back with the second half on Porter County TV. Thanks for tuning in.
Indiana Careers in Construction Association. You could not pick a better time to consider a career in construction. From skilled tradesmen to project managers to technical engineers and even company owners, the depth of opportunity has never been greater. Check out buildtosucceed.org for more information on the Indiana Careers in Construction Association. Are you built to succeed?
Let's hear it for our Vikings again. Thank you, ladies. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we welcome you to our halftime music performance presented by the Valparaiso High School Band under the field directions of band directors Miss Sarah DeRossi and Miss Andrea Kessler. Tonight, the VHS band performs thrilling, evil, and monstrous theme music. Our first selection received positive reviews and became a top 10 single on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. It reached the top of the chart in France, Belgium, and many other countries around the world. The music and lyrics evoke horror films with sound effects such as thunder, footsteps, and wind. The original version on its video ended with a spoken word sequence performed by horror actor Vincent Price. Songwriter Rod Temperton wanted to write a theatrical song to suit the singer's love of film. Recorded by American singer Michael Jackson, produced by Quincy Jones, and first released on Jackson's album Thriller on November 30, 1982, we present to you Thriller. Our next song was made famous by the Mexican-American rock band Santana from their 1969 debut album, Santana. It was written by Clarence "Sonny" Henry and originally recorded by jazz percussionist Willie Bobo on his 1967 album, Bobo Motion. We perform Evil Ways. The following selection topped the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 chart for 1 week in May of 1973. And later in the same month, it was popular in the UK, Mexico, and at the time, West Germany. It is an instrumental recorded by the Edgar Winter Group from their 1972 album, They Only Come Out at Night. Please enjoy our rendition of Frankenstein! scientist whose monster, late one evening, rises from his slab to perform a new dance, with a name implying it is inspired by the mashed potato, the popular dance of the early 1960s. The dance becomes the hit of the land when the scientist throws a party for other monsters, among them classic 1940s horror film icons such as the Wolfman, Igor, Count Dracula, and his son. It was number 1 on the Billboard 100 chart on October 20th to 27th, 1962, just before Halloween. It has become a Halloween perennial favorite since its release. We present Monster Mash.
We have a few scores from our DAC comrades. LaPorte is ahead of Michigan City 7-0 in the third quarter. Maryville leads Lafayette Jefferson 14-6 at halftime. Chesterton and Warsaw are tied 21 apiece in the third quarter. Crown Point 15, Lake Central 7 at half. And Penn 13, 46 in the fourth quarter. The IHSAA is proud to use Wilson footballs for athletes to perform at their best. They require the best. For over 100 years, that's what Wilson has delivered. Not only is Wilson used on more high school football fields than any other brand, but it's also the official ball of the NFL and the college football playoff. Learn more at wilson.com. The Indiana High School Athletic Association is proud to salute our friends and supporters from the Indianapolis Colts. Thanks also to Wilson, the official game ball, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, knocking on wood, the Indiana Pacers and Indiana Fever, proud to support Indiana's game at all levels. Methodist Sports Medicine, the official sports medicine provider for all state championship events. Ivy Tech Community College, reach your goal at Ivy Tech. Sharp Business System, saluting great athletes and even better students. Sport Graphics, turning our creativity and experience into your result. Perf Jones, the official championship ring provider for the IHSAA. Indiana Criminal Justice Institute, reminding you to buckle up every trip, every time. And Indiana Careers and Construction Association, built to succeed. Tony Johnson will be kicking off for the Vikings to begin the second half. Going deep for Munster.
We are back for the second half of the Valpo Munster Sectionals game. Score here is 56 Valpo, 0 Munster. Now, we talked last half about how they would do if it was over 35-point lead, that it would be the 12-minute or no.
Yeah, they're going to run the clock.
Yeah.
Yep, they're going to run the clock. I think the second half. It appears what's going to happen, and another touchback to start off the second half.
Tony Johnson reaches the end zone with his kickoff. Touchback.
I'm Tristan Stewart, and I'm with my instructor, Mr. Phelps here. We are from PCTV News.
Tristan, it's good to join you tonight. I mentioned in the first half, it's my first time calling a game after all the years we've been doing these before. All the times we've been doing these games, finally on a headset here, getting to feel the nerves of all of my students over the years who've called a game in the booth here at Viking Field. Good to be with you tonight. Tristan, a first-year student of mine in my video production class. So Tristan, you're doing an excellent job this season. Ing is still the quarterback for Munster, deciding to run with it. And
Very good run.
May have gotten close to a first down there.
It looks close. It may not be. I'm not sure.
They're moving the sticks. So that is a first down.
Good run by Munster.
Gosh, wouldn't it be something if they came out, scored on their first drive? I know they'd love to avoid being shut out. They have been this year a handful of times. But in a sectional game like this, I know they'd love to get some points on the board.
Yeah, but with how things have been going, I don't think it's going to end too well. You know, they're going to just get intercepted.
No, certainly the game isn't going to go their way, but if they can get some points on the board, that would be beneficial for them.
Yeah, I mean, it would really help, you know, even how they feel about this game, because getting shut out just isn't the best feeling.
Mm-hmm. He's been pretty much in shotgun back most of the game. Looks like he's changing the play at the line there.
Ooh, and it is an incomplete pass intended for Vince Forster.
Incomplete.
Yep, overthrew Forster there on that pass. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 7. Ing's going to pass, long pass
To Forster.
What an odd play there. Actually had a chance. It was threw it into double coverage and bounced off. Let's see if we can get a look at that on replay here.
Cole Kosupke on the coverage for the Vikings. It'll be 4th and 7 for Munster.
Bounced right off of those, all three of them really. Ended up hitting the ground. Could have been a deflection and interception, but did end up hitting the ground. Hey, I'll be biased. Real proud of my camera crew tonight, doing some great job on camera work, giving us some good replays. My crew works very hard, so I'll give them some shout outs.
Ooh, they decided not.
They faked the punt, or they faked the punt there and got the first down.
Wow.
Look at that. Yeah, Alex Merrick really had a nice solid run. He did what a runner is supposed to do, and he waited for his blockers and he followed them really very nicely.
Yeah, I was not expecting that. That was surprising to me, as much as it probably was to the Valpo players on the field.
Yeah, they fooled him. Really, we should be expecting that at this point. It is a good time to practice some of those things as a team and keep your drive alive. So a little bit of a spark for Munster. Again, Ing looking to pass it, does make the pass. Just a little bit of contact there. Hit it at the right time. No flag, and unfortunately incomplete pass for Munster.
And that pass was intended for Noah Poole.
Intended for Noah Poole, broken up by Cole Kosupke. 2nd and 10.
That's the second time now in this run that Valpo has just not been able to grab the ball to intercept the pass.
Yeah, I truthfully feel like every pass that Ing throws has the potential to be picked off, but so far this drive looking much better for them at least. Another long pass. and just overthrew number 18, Noah Poole. Again, they're going to keep trying that until they get it right. It does bring up third down, however.
Just needs to hold a little bit back, just throwing it a little too hard on those. But, they're doing a lot better with not getting intercepted, which is really good for Munster.
Another pass coming from Ing. Ooh, feeling lots of pressure.
Yeah, that's a big sack. That's about...
Yeah, Alex Jackson was for Valpo was closing in really, really fast.
That looks like a five-yard loss there.
Yeah, senior defensive lineman Alex Jackson closing in quickly in that drive that had really pretty good energy from Munster. They were playing well. They moving the ball. That fake punt was provided a little bit of a spark, but a couple of failed completions, unfortunately, for Munster has turned into a 4th and 17 and an actual punt. So Alex Merrick there punts it, and then downed at about the 35-yard line.
Yeah, started rolling back into Munster territory, so they weren't going to let that happen.
So I was bragging a few minutes ago about my hardworking crew. This is our first sectional game. However, we have covered all of Valpo's home games this year. We'll continue to follow Valpo as deep as they go into the playoffs. We have a pretty decent road ahead of them, pretty manageable. Currently, LaPorte is beating Michigan City in the third quarter. So Valpo will play the winner of that game.
Ooh, running right through the middle, number
Look at him
43.
go.
Wow, that was a great run. Number 43, Michael Nawardi. Sorry if I butcher that name. That is not a name that we have said much. Nawarita. Excuse me. A sophomore. Not a name I have said at all.
Yeah, Noah Rita, the sophomore for Valpo with an incredible run.
Yeah, he went right through the middle of Munster's defense and just ran all the way down. That was great. Now we're going to be out there getting that extra point. And it's good. That was a very low one, but
63, Munster 0.
Still got it, and I believe that was Tony Johnson who got the field goal there. Another name that hasn't been said much this season.
This is going to be the trend tonight in the second half, putting those players who don't get a lot of playing time on a varsity Friday night, able to get in there and make some big plays. Obviously, the goal for the team is to not lose momentum. Ideally, you don't want it to look like you put your JV team in. You'd like to see your JV team play at the level of a varsity team.
And I mean, they're playing very well.
We're seeing that, yeah.
I mean, they're not getting as many touchdowns, but that really doesn't matter when they're still getting touchdowns and not letting Munster come through.
Right. Kickoff from Valpo.
Wow, that was a great kick, and that's going to be another touchback. And that was by Tony Johnson.
First and 10 Munster at the 20-yard line.
That was a very good kick. And, I mean, I'm impressed because the field goal he kicked was actually pretty low.
Yep.
So that
Points
was
are points.
Great kick.
So, again, we're not just switching out some of their key players. You're switching out even your kicker. So we're going to give Shepard a break and have Tony Johnson do the kicking, it looks like, the rest of the night.
And as you see, the timer is still running. I believe that only stops for when there's a score, injury, or timeout. Other than that, though, it will keep going.
So Valpo scored 28 points in the first quarter, 28 points in the second quarter. Now they've put up 6 points here at the start of the third quarter. 7 points at the start of the third quarter.
Munster's not getting too far through Valpo's JV defense. I believe it's still 2nd and 10. No yards gained.
Micah Nathan made the last tackle for the Vikings.
Goes for the pass, but is intercepted by number 20, Mason Mitchell.
Intercepted by Mason Mitchell for the Vikings. First.
Wow.
If you saw what Mitchell did there at the end of the play, or maybe what I should say is what he didn't do. Take a look at the replay here. Really read it well. Got right in front of him. Actually made it look like a one-handed interception. You'll notice what he does here. He slides down, takes a knee. That's a sign that Valpo's not looking to score. They're going to score if they're given the opportunity, but they are not moving so much that that they're not going to lay down and hand ball over to their offense and let them handle it.
Yeah, they don't want to get the score too high here.
And that was actually, I got to hand it to him for doing that, to Mitchell for doing that, because it's tempting to just bolt for the end zone. But
especially when it's his senior year, and that would look very good out for him. But, you know, I mean, sometimes it's just got to do things like that. Ooh, and they did not get it.
Oh, they're calling Fussell down at the 1 yard line there.
Number 1, Joe Fussell, sophomore. Another name that I don't think has been said this season. He almost had it too, and they didn't give it to him.
Something tells me we're going to see Fussell with the ball here on this, this next play.
He's going to go right through the middle with it. Ooh.
Actually got stuffed, pushed back pretty far.
Joel Fussell up the middle. Tackle was made by Mike Dywin. No gain. 2nd and goal.
Got just about 40 seconds left in the third quarter.
Valpo going for the 2nd touchdown of the quarter. Fussell has the ball, running around the side, and goes in to score the touchdown.
Quick leap over the defender there into the end zone for the touchdown. And here's the replay. Fussell's got ups there.
That brings our score 69 Valpo to 0 Munster, and we're going to have, I believe, Tony Johnson going for the kick. Ooh, and he does not get it. It was just a very low kick. I think he just barely scraped the ball. And that brings us to the end of the third quarter with a score of 69 Valpo to 0 Munster. We're going to update some scores. So we have Crown Point and Lake Central. Crown Point up 22-7. Warsaw and Chesterton are tied at 28. Maryville is beating Lafayette Jefferson 20-14. Penn beat Portage with a score of 13-6, and that is the final score. And Michigan City and LaPorte are tied 7, and that is that's what we're paying attention to the most here, because that is what is important for the next round of sectionals. That's who Valpo will be playing, so we will keep you updated on that score. And like I said, it's tied LaPorte, Michigan City 7 in the third quarter. Mr. Phelps, who do you think is going to come on top of the Michigan City and LaPorte game, in your opinion?
Right now it's tied up 7-7, right? So at this point, it's anybody's game. Obviously, LaPorte was winning for much of the game until this point. Certainly changes some things. It'll affect whether Valpo plays at home or on the road next week. Another reverse again. Oh, faked reverse actually that time.
Wow. Number 18 is going through, but gets stopped. Oh,
it's still
no,
going.
He's still going. And he gets stopped at the 35-yard line.
So it's a junior Noah Poole, somebody's name we've said quite a bit tonight. We can get a shot of this replay here. Let's see if Noah's going to look at the video board and see his nice little moves here up on the video board. Really looks pretty good, actually. Valpo's defensive players or special team players really having trouble tackling him. That's no matter what the score is, the coaches are not going to want to see somebody get away from them that easily.
Yeah, that was very impressive.
We do have a final from Penn, which we'll give you here in just a second after this play. Ings scrambling.
Passes it to number 4.
There you go.
And
Vince Forster
gets stopped at about the 43-yard line, Valpo's 43-yard line.
That's a big gain for Forster. Really nice pass from Ing. Scrambling and delivering.
Yeah, it looks like Munster wants to leave this game at least getting some points on the board.
And they're in Valpo's territory now, so certainly makes that a little bit more likely. Again, every time we get excited about something good for Munster, Valpo seems to answer, but we do have different players in the game now. Again, another long pass or short pass to Luke Poole.
He stopped at about the 29-yard line, and that's going to get them back to first down.
Another first down for Munster.
Yeah, they're doing really good here. I'm impressed. And hopefully, they can keep that going and not let up to Valpo's defense.
Ings looking to make a long pass and just gets swallowed up. Yeah, just gets swallowed up by the Valpo defense there.
I think the defense is tired of letting the ball keep getting past them. So that's going to take us back.
So Alex,
8 yards.
Alex Green, the sophomore for Valpo, kind of led the charge there. Munster just called a timeout.
It's the first timeout called all game. They really want to take this opportunity to score.
Well, coach is going to get his players together, Coach Grunwald for Munster, and maybe drop some sort of play and see what can happen. Obviously, Valpo is really handling Munster well, but the energy level in Munster hasn't dropped. They're really playing very well. They're keeping their composure. They're not playing like it's a 69-0 game.
Yeah, they're playing as if it's still the beginning of the game, no score.
Yeah,
and it's a really good attitude to have. You don't want to come in here all down.
It is not an easy attitude to maintain, but the energy level has been pretty high. I did promise you a score from Penn over in Mishawaka. Penn defeated Portage 13-6. Penn defeated Portage 13-6 to advance to the second round of the 6A sectional.
And that's a very close game too, with how Portage's record has been. Ooh, it looks like.
I have a hunch that's not what Coach Grunwald drew up.
By number 18, Noah Poole kind of froze up again and tried to run the ball, but Valpo's defense just stopped him. Didn't gain any yards there. Still 18 yards to go, so that brings it to 3rd and 18. About 9 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Oh, he's
long pass. Actually, a beautiful screen pass.
I think that'll bring it to first down, if not very close to it.
It was close. Actually, that's a name we haven't said much for Munster. That was
Fourth and short for the Mustangs.
Michael Dywin
Yes.
on the screen pass reception there, a senior for Munster.
They were just short of the first down, so it's going to bring it to 4th and 1.
Yeah, 4th and 1, going for it obviously at this point. Ing actually faked the handoff, struggled a little bit there. It was almost like they weren't sure who was going to keep it. It was an option. Ing kept it, and almost like he had to rip it away from his running back.
Yeah.
But he was able to get the first down. So
this could be the chance that Munster needs to finally put some points up on the board.
yeah, most definitely the best drive Munster's had all night. Ing's back to pass.
Passes it to Dywin.
Yeah, Dywin again.
So that brings it to 2nd and 5, I believe. 2nd and 4 with 7 minutes and 23 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, that running clock really helps. It helps Valpo, helps the fans, helps move the game along. Of course, Munster
nice
still
pass
focused on
from
scoring.
Munster. And that's another first down. Pass to number 11, Cole Lisinski.
It is a Munster first down.
It looks, I mean, I don't want to jinx it here, but Munster could be getting a touchdown here real soon.
Yeah, they're driving. I mean, this is by far the best they've looked. Now, granted, it's not against the same defense that started the game for the Vikings, but Ing's going to pass. Kind of chipping away at it. Dywin again, I believe.
Yeah.
Nick Ings pass complete to Cole Lisinski.
Oh,
Nope, number 11, Cole Lisinski. I can't tell where they got that to there, but I believe it's
the ball is on the
2nd and 4.
The ball is on the 4-yard line. Lisinski was on that reception. All right, so I got 4 yards to go to get a score on the board. Obviously, they don't want to settle for 3 here.
Gonna run right through the middle.
There you go.
Ooh, it's a fake, but
Ing keeps it.
I fell for that fake, I'm gonna be honest with you, but Valpo did not. They're not gonna let Munster score that easily.
It doesn't look like he picked up much more than maybe half a yard Ing did on that run.
Still, so it's 3rd and 4 here. And that's a touchdown for Munster.
Look at those fans go nuts over there too. That's got to be, that's got to feel good for those Munster fans, the Munster team. It's been a long time since they've been in the end zone like that, so good for them. They have not scored since. That's their first touchdown since their October 4th game against Lowell, in which they lost 48-13. So they were able to get in the end zone, and it's really does a lot for these players.
Yeah, and it's been about a month since then, so I mean it's nice for them to come out on their last game of the season and get a touchdown.
And not surprising, they're going for 2.
Ooh, but they did not get it.
So the 2-point conversion was incomplete or unsuccessful, making the score 69-6 with Valparaiso in the lead.
I believe Nathan Kraft broke up the last pass.
Do you think Valpo's going to come in here and try to score, or are they just going to run the time?
I think they're going to kind of stay the course. With 4 minutes and 42 seconds left in this game, they're looking ahead, and they're going to stay the course and get some playing time for these players who are maybe JV, and focus on that. These 6 points don't really faze them. Certainly, it would have been nice to have a shutout, because that makes you feel good. But it also makes Munster feel good to be able to put some points on the board.
I would like to see Valpo put out, a couple of their freshman players that are JV. I believe I just counted 7, 8 players, and that'd be cool to see some of them out there.
Something tells me every player down there is going to get on the field at some point. So that'll be good for them.
But it's also hard to put those freshman guys out there against some seniors because you don't want your freshmen getting hurt. I mean, but it'd be cool. Number 7, Luke goes for. Ooh, wow! That was a bad kickoff.
I'm going for an onside kick, and just didn't execute it correctly.
That kick was recovered by Carter Fenyake.
Luke Poole going for that one.
For the Vikings.
It looked like he just missed it completely. And wow.
So, as we were saying, good for Munster to not get shut out. Valpo actually shut out LaPorte earlier in the year. So, we can kind of have that going for them, that they were able to avoid something that another team has been guilty of, unable to put points up. Speaking of LaPorte, current score from Michigan City is Michigan City Wolves 10, the LaPorte Slicers 7. So they're in the fourth quarter right now. Valpo will play the winner of that game. I believe if Valpo wins, which they will, and Michigan City wins, Valpo will host Michigan City next week. If LaPorte wins, it's my understanding that Valpo would travel to LaPorte. So
I just did notice something out there when all the players were running back in. They did put out one of their freshmen, number 6, Ian Wilson, but they have taken him out now. But I think that's just really cool to put a freshman out there because that's a huge experience for them.
Absolutely. Just over 3 minutes left in the game, Tristan. Getting close.
And it looks like Munster actually got a hold of the ball, and they're going for a long pass here.
Munster does have the ball.
Incomplete. I did not notice what happened. I was focused on the scores.
Pass intended for Cole Lisinski.
I guess we both missed that. It appears as though that kickoff was recovered by Munster. So again, little trickery turned into another possession for Munster.
4 minutes and 35 seconds left in this game. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game. My apologies. I don't think Munster will be able to.
Ing's scrambling pretty good. Not impossible they put up another score, but we've got about 2 minutes left, and so they're wrapping it up. Tristan, as you've already pointed out, we are with Porter County TV from the Porter County Career Center.
3rd and 15 for the Mustangs.
My name is Bob Phelps. I'm the instructor of the class. It's unusual to have me on the microphone. Usually I am not. I leave that to my students, but it's a fun opportunity to join Tristan and let the crew handle things. Everything is student-produced and doing a terrific job, so I love bragging about my students, and they don't do that on air, so I'll do it for them. Really some great coverage.
Number 12, Nick Eng running it, but
actually got a nice reception there.
Pass to number 20, Andrew Forts, name we have not sent tonight.
It is a Munster first down.
First down for Munster.
But only a minute 28 left in the last quarter of the game, so unless they make a really good pass, I don't think anything's going to be coming out of this.
Again, the energy level has not changed. There's Ing going to be running for it. He's going to slide, and fortunately that slide does not stop the clock. Nothing will. It's been a running clock the whole second half. Just about a minute left in the game. If you're not following us yet on social media, make sure you follow us on Facebook. Our Porter County TV Facebook page is where you can get all the information about our upcoming broadcasts, not just for football, but other events as well. We did some mayoral and city council events earlier in the month of October. Ing's back to pass. Gets wrapped up.
And later on, within the next month, we will be starting basketball too.
Adam Rogers sitting first. Timeout, Munster.
Munster takes a timeout with 40 seconds left. Not quite sure what they're going to be going for here.
So the clock is stopped because of the timeout, but there's 40 seconds left. Valpo's going to hold on to it. I actually thought Valpo could put up 70 points was kind of my prediction, and they would have if it weren't for that one missed extra point. But to have a score of 69 points against another 5A team, regardless of their record, is good. And then obviously get ready for the next game.
So this just came in that the last time that Valpo scored 69 points was 1995, and the school record is 75, which they were very close.
Yeah, they were close tonight. Ing's pass gets dropped, which obviously is still an incomplete pass, not stopping the clock. Yeah, they scored 75 points back in 1992.
And that would have been really cool for Valpo to actually beat that record. I mean, it wouldn't be good for Munster, but like on a Valpo side of it, like
sure,
it's cool to beat a record like that.
Yeah, they didn't get it. It's not a big deal. It's nothing they're worried about. It's something that would have been nice to say you did. But I have a hunch that's not even on the minds of the players at this point. They're proud of the 69 points they were able to put up and the way they played tonight. And now they're keeping a focus on which team they're going to play next.
We're getting live updates on the Michigan City-LaPorte game. It is still 10 Michigan City, 7 to LaPorte in the fourth quarter.
Hey, exciting game down in over in the county next to us in Maryville. Lafayette Jefferson is currently tied with Maryville 20-20, really a great showing for Maryville against a tough Lafayette Jefferson team. It was interesting to see how that one's going to turn out. We've got Crown Point currently beating Lake Central at Lake Central, 22-7. And Warsaw is up on Chesterton, 35-28, just up the road from us, up Campbell, or Meridian, up in Chesterton with a score of 28-35 Warsaw.
A lot of close games, at least in the beginning they were. Ooh, it looks like they're running it number 4, Forrester, but gets stopped at the 31-yard line. And there's about 15 seconds left. And Munster does still have a timeout, but I don't think they're going to be taking it.
They're not going to use it. They're going to let that clock wind down. Valpo will end up winning this game.
69-6.
We got zeros on the board. So Valpo wins this game 69-6. A great showing for Valpo, and truthfully, I've got to hand it to Munster, Munster and Coach Grunwald and his coaching staff. They got walloped tonight by the Vikings, but they didn't give up. They kept playing hard. They really interceptions. That was a problem.
Yeah.
There weren't tons of penalties. I feel like Munster was pretty composed. They did a pretty good job of staying the course. It seems like listening to the coaches. Even the interceptions, Tristan, they weren't so much horrible passes, but great reads by the defense.
Yeah, I mean, that was one thing that the coach told us that was going to be a problem, but it wasn't as bad as I really anticipated it to be. I was thinking, it would be every couple passes that there would be an interception from Valpo, but it was just some, either a little short so that Valpo was able to get it. And that was most of it. It was just the passes were a little short and Valpo was able to grab them. But Munster, they kept a great attitude. They didn't let that get them down, and they played as hard as they could. And, they tried their best not to get a shutout, which they did. Eventually score in that fourth quarter, which is really good.
Yeah, that last drive they had where they were finally able to get in the end zone really showed some life. Something tells me that's going to carry them into next year. I know Coach Grunwald is excited about some of the leadership he has. It'll be his third year next year. We did talk to both coaches before the game, and Coach Marshall expressed the fact that the Munster coach, Jason Grunwald, is a buddy of his. They're close friends who talk frequently, and he feels bad that they've had the season they had, but he feels, Coach Marshall feels confident that Munster can turn things around next year and keep improving. Valpo's had some rough years during, the past couple decades where they've dipped down and not met expectations. And obviously this is not one of those years. Tristan, we've been excited to, it's been exciting following the Vikings that are now running over to the student section. Beautiful camera work by my crew. Really excited for my students to be able to call the game and show off their talents. And there you have it. You get to see and enjoy some of the celebrations here for all the Viking fans who stuck around in this bitter cold weather. A good crowd, not a big crowd like we've seen in the postseason. I think some people maybe weren't willing to brave the weather, potentially staying home to watch our broadcast. And if you're tuning in, we appreciate you guys watching.
And we'd like to thank everyone for watching this broadcast of the Valparaiso Vikings versus the Munster Mustangs. This has been a presentation of PCTV Sports of the Porter County Career and Technical Center. This broadcast was student produced by members of the Porter County Career Center video production class. This broadcast was produced by Logan Osdick and Connor Small and directed by Logan Osdick. The Porter County Career and Technical Center's video production class is instructed by Robert Phelps. We will be leaving you with a score of 69 Valpo to 6 Munster. And upcoming broadcasts will be just us following the Vikings through the rest of sectionals and regionals if we possibly get the chance.
Yeah, that's our goal, Tristan. We're going to show off as much as we can. I just refreshed our scoreboard here. I see LaPorte is now beating Michigan City 14-10. So a quick score update for you on that one. So that certainly changes some stuff there. We've got now Michigan City needs to answer back with a touchdown. A field goal won't do it. So if LaPorte holds on to win, I believe Valpo will travel to LaPorte to face the Slicers. But Michigan City, I'm sure, is going to try their best to answer back before time runs out in that one. But we will carry that game, Tristan, on the road and at home with Valpo as far as they can as far as they can get in the postseason. Tristan, I want to give a quick shout out to the rest of the crew here tonight. We did have Carson Morgan and Catherine Davis and Logan Osdick, three of our crew members that are second-year students of mine. Tyler Cox is running camera for us tonight. Megan Quinn and Connor Small, part of our crew. Jacob Innes. Jacob is actually taking care of some of the scoreboard graphics and things. And we also had RJ Polito, a Valpo student of ours, doing all your scoreboards. So when you see the score down there at the bottom of the screen, we had them doing that. Kevin Reynolds, Sydney Hoosier joined us tonight. Leighton Wrigley. And again, Tristan Stewart, our play-by-play guy tonight. Tristan, it's been fun calling the game with you. Thanks for letting me grab a mic and a little out of my comfort zone. But it's been fun calling this high-scoring Valpo Viking game with you tonight.
Of course, it was great. I'm glad you were able to do it.
Well, that's it from Viking Field. Tristan, any final comments from you about the game?
No, I mean, I just hope that we can continue to follow Valpo into hopefully what is semi-state and then state.
Yeah, that's their goal and has been all year. They've said run the region, and after they ended their season undefeated, Coach Marshall told his team it's now run the state is kind of the motto for the team.
And that'd be something great to see. All right, well, we would like to thank you guys, and we will see you next time.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come, and see me play.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.